What is emotional safety? I have had so many of my clients ask me this in my coaching sessions. And these are people that normally have never experienced what emotional safety is like because of their history. They have a history of toxic relationships. They have a history of abuse. So they've never actually lived and experienced what it would be like to be emotionally safe with someone. Emotional safety is one of the most important things that you can have in a relationship, outside of communication and comprehension paired with action. And unfortunately, so many people live their entire lives in an emotionally unsafe environment. And they don't even realize that their lives can be completely different because they don't know anything outside of that. This is just the life they're used to. So please know that if emotional safety is a little bit of a foreign concept to you, that's okay, because that's very common to experience. It just means that you have a history of toxic relationships and you haven't experienced what it's like. This is why it's so important for you to watch this video to better understand what it can be like so that you can look for it in future partners. Today in this video, I'm going to first explain what isn't healthy, and then I'm going to take a moment to explain what is healthy and emotionally safe. This way you understand what should and shouldn't be normalized. So I'm going to start with what's not safe emotionally, and I'm going to do this by asking a series of questions. Okay, so an example of what is emotionally unsafe. Have you ever gotten to a point where you stop wanting to tell your partner what's bothering you because you know it's just going to start an argument, so you just shut up about it? It's not that it doesn't bother you, it's actually eating away at you, but you telling this person about what's upsetting you is just going to cause you more problems than talking through it. So instead of talking through it, you just let it eat you alive. That is an example of not feeling safe. Another example of what is not safe emotionally is when your partner continues to do an action they know either hurts you or upsets you, but they keep doing it because they find entertainment out of it. Maybe they think it's funny to watch you react. And even though you've expressed how it impacts you negatively, they just laugh it off and tell you that you're the problem. And another example of being in an emotionally unsafe relationship is when you're constantly on edge, looking for the inconsistencies because you know your partner continuously lies and then turns around and gaslights you about the lying, making you out to be the problematic person because you're not believing all of the lies that they are telling you. Maybe your partner continues to cheat on you and then calls you crazy when you start pointing out the inconsistencies. And this is not just limited to cheating. There's so many other ways that this person can create an emotionally unsafe environment. But really the foundation of being in an unsafe environment means you don't feel comfortable to go to this person because you know that there will be negative consequences if you do. If you talk to them. Now, what I'm not talking about is if you have a history of trauma and you're in a healthy relationship, but you're dealing with the fear of that person becoming angry, but they're showing you through consistent action that they're not angry when you bring up certain things. That doesn't mean that you're in an unsafe environment. That just means that you have different traumas that you need to work through. What I'm talking about specifically with being in an emotionally unsafe environment is when you continuously try to bring something up and they consistently are dismissive, they gaslight you, or maybe they yell at you and get angry. Maybe they make you feel guilty. Maybe they tell you, this is the wrong time, I'm so stressful, why would you even bring this up right now? But there's never a good time to bring it up. If you bring it up when it's good, well then they claim you're ruining a good time. If you bring it up when things are bad, well then you're just throwing things in their face or making things worse. In the end, you can never bring things up in this relationship because they just lash out at you in different ways. So you end up no longer bringing things up because you will just feel worse if you do. Now, in an emotionally safe relationship, the polar opposite of what we just discussed, you feel like you can come to this person. You know that when you do come to this person, everything will be okay, that you'll be able to talk through it and you'll be able to work through the different problems you may have. You consistently don't feel worse whenever you have healthy conversations with them and you feel seen and heard and understood. You feel better after the conversation happens than before. Yeah, you might struggle with some anxiety whenever you first come to them because you're worried about how they'll react due to past traumas that have nothing to do with them. But once you get started in the conversation, you realize, oh, you are able to talk to them about different things that are bothering you. An emotionally safe relationship is going to consistently allow you to be open with your feelings and emotions, because you'll realize that your partner genuinely cares about what your thoughts are and how you feel. They care about how certain things impact you, and they want to love you and support you the way that you need. You deserve to be in an emotionally safe relationship. You don't deserve to be in a relationship where you're constantly fighting just to feel seen and heard by the other person. You don't deserve to be gaslit and have all of the blame shifted onto you. You deserve to be loved in a way that you feel safe, to be able to express yourself knowing that you won't be punished for that. Emotional safety is the foundation of a healthy relationship, and it goes alongside communication and comprehension paired with action. Now, the reason why I say communication and comprehension paired with action is because communication without comprehension, it feels like you're talking to a wall. The person doesn't even understand you. They're not making the effort to understand where you're coming from. But communication with comprehension allows you to feel seen, allows you to feel heard. Now, you can have communication and comprehension, but without action, it makes no difference. You have to have all three of those, communication, comprehension, and action, in order for it to be healthy. And that creates a sense of emotional safety. If you feel like you're talking till you're blue in the face and the person seems like they understand, they're like, oh my God, I get it, I will change, I will work on myself, and then there's never any action, you're going to start feeling really emotionally unsafe because you feel like no matter what you do, this person isn't going to change. They're not going to make the effort, they're not going to take the action. They're great with their words, but they never back it with the action. So it feels like it doesn't actually matter. But when you have communication, comprehension, paired with action, that creates emotional safety. Now, I will be diving deeper into emotional safety in future content. So whether you're listening to my podcast or maybe you're watching this on my YouTube, be sure to subscribe and share this with someone you think could really use it. I hope you have a beautiful day.